Hello everybody, what is up? It's Jiwon. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, this video is honestly low-key so embarrassing for me to record because I don't like admitting that I used to be a pick-me, but I also am no longer a pick-me, so this is kind of how I did it. Also, two things I need to clarify. One, when I say I used to be a pick-me, I didn't like put down other girls. It was more so I would just like do really cringy things because I wanted male validation. And also currently, I know how my posts come across, okay? Except now it's like I'm doing it to be like a troll. So the post where like people are like, oh, this is pick me, it's like, no, I'm doing it to be, it's either I'm following a trend or I'm trying to troll and like be a troll because I think it's funny. So when people call me a pick me on some of those posts, it actually bothers me because I'm like, no, the intention is troll, not pick me. No. No. But it's like, I don't know how to make it more apparent that I'm trying to be a troll, that I'm going for troll, not pick me. Anyways, first world problems. So no particular order necessarily, but honestly, improving my relationship with my parents and just like having more heart-to-hearts with them and just clarifying things about my childhood, because honestly, bro, just like one conversation with my mom was actually so healing and just like cleared up so many things and like so many beliefs that I had about like myself and my childhood and just everything. Like just like a very honest heart-to-heart with your mom can be the most healing thing, and it's like, oh, that was all I needed all this time. Nice. The next thing is get to the root of like what you think this guy, I'm just gonna say like this guy just like as the example and everything, but it's like, what do you think he's going to give you? Like genuinely, like what is it? Because no one wants to be a pick-me, I don't think. But it's like, what is this validation that you think you're gonna get? What is it like, what part of you that you think is so lacking? What is it healing, or that you think it's healing? What is like, what's the temporary fix that you're getting? And getting to the root of that, I think, is the most helpful thing, because here's the thing. Let's say that this guy that you're like trying to get or whatever, like by being a pick-me, like let's say you get him. Listen, you're gonna think it's gonna make you feel better. You think it's gonna fill that like that void that you're trying to fill. And like, because listen, I get it. It's like I would used to get so like anxious and like my nervous system would be all over the place, and like I genuinely felt like, no, like I have this visceral need like for this person to like validate me or whatever. Listen, it's 0.5 seconds. Like it's gonna maybe like soothe that feeling of anxiety for like 30 minutes. Maybe an hour tops, maybe if you're lucky 3 days. But then like you're gonna be back at square one because there's still gonna be that like visceral like gnawing feeling at you because you haven't addressed like the core root of the issue. And like, okay, let's say you're like dating this guy, he can only reassure you so much. Like no matter how much he tells you that like you're good enough or that he thinks that you're pretty or whatever, that's not gonna fill that void of like inherently feeling like not good enough. I'm just using like examples that I think are really, really common as to like why people might feel that way and like how like as to why I used to feel that way. But like, you know that song lyric where it's like new boyfriend won't fill the void? That is so true. Like another person is never going to be able to fulfill whatever like gnawing unfulfilled need or like whatever you feel like you're lacking in yourself. Another person will never be able to give that to you, which is both good and also kind of annoying because it's like that requires like the inner work, which is honestly kind of uncomfortable, but it's worth it. So I think in my experience, and what I think is like the most common, I guess, like root cause of like being a pick-me or being so dependent and having one's like emotional well-being being dependent on how another person interacts with you. One, feeling like you're not good enough, and then two, the feeling of like not being chosen or not being like prioritized or like the first choice, etc. And what I found to be the remedy for, in terms of like feeling like you're the second choice, you're not good enough or whatever, be your own first choice. Prioritize yourself and your own goals and what you actually want to do. Because in my experience, the times where I was like the most, I guess, desperate for, yes, I'm gonna use the word desperate. Oh my goodness. I hate using that word because it's like, it just feels really embarrassing. The times where I was like glomming onto another person to make me feel like whole and complete or whatever, was when I felt like I couldn't pursue and achieve the goals that I wanted to achieve because I just felt like it wasn't possible for me because I felt like I just wasn't good enough for it. Because I had put like my own needs and like well-being on the back burner, I needed someone else to prove to me that no, you are prioritized, you are the first choice. You got to do that for yourself. Like whatever goals that you have, like you have to realize that you are the only person that can get you out of like whatever life circumstance that you're in. Like yes, other people can help you, but like at the end of the day, you are the person who is going to care the most about yourself, just because that's kind of how it works. Like you have to spend time with yourself and get to know yourself. And if you don't inherently like yourself, because I think that was another thing for myself, like I wanted someone else to like me because I didn't like myself at the time. And it's like, why don't you like yourself? Getting to the root of that, I think, is very, very helpful. Because, okay, if there are traits about yourself that you're really not the fondest of, you can work to change those traits. Like, if you don't like the fact that you're maybe like not the most disciplined, you can change that. You have the option to be disciplined. You can do that. Like, if you don't like that you always procrastinate, you can change that. And I think another thing that really helped me also is realizing that this, honestly, bro, I feel like this made the biggest difference for me, but realize that like the way other people treat you does not dictate your self-worth, and it does not determine whether or not you're good enough. You're the only one who can decide whether or not you're good enough for whatever it is. Like, I think for me, I struggled a lot with feeling like, oh, like, why can't I get what I want? Like, why can't I do X, Y, Z? And it's like, why can't you? You're like, because here's the thing. There's so many people who are less qualified. I mean, that's like the biggest one I think I can think of. Like, people who have really just gotten the things that they've wanted and everything due to confidence and faking it till they made it. Like, why can't you? Because you can. So I think that helped a lot as well. And going back to the whole like feeling first choice or first best or whatever, I think I had the habit of ruminating a lot on the situations where I felt like second choice or left out or whatever. What are the instances in your life where you were the first choice? That also helped a lot in fighting the narrative of like, oh, like I'm never chosen, I'm always second choice. No. Like, yes, obviously, like put yourself first now and treat yourself like you are your own first choice, because you should be. Like, you should be your own priority, but also actively fighting that old story and like that neural pathway, and instead creating the new narrative of like, no, I'm always first choice. Like, see, these are the examples of me being the first choice. That helped me so much. And then I know I kind of touched on this earlier, but realizing that your self-worth and value is inherent. How someone else treats you or doesn't treat you does not dictate that. Because truly, like, don't get me wrong, like, you are responsible for your actions and everything, and you got to be self-aware and everything. But at the end of the day, people are still operating like with their own insecurities and projections, and sometimes you are not the problem. Like, if you're accountable and you're self-aware and you do your best to like communicate effectively and everything, then sometimes it truly is just the other person projecting their insecurities onto you. Like, especially in the cases where it's like your behavior didn't change and you and another person were fine, like whether it be like friends or whatever, and then suddenly their behavior switches up and your behavior has stayed the same. That is not on you. That is, I don't know what they're going through, but that is like their own projection. Yeah, I know this was like very rambly and I went on a lot of tangents, but basically getting to your root issues, like what do you feel like this person is going to give you if they quote unquote pick you? Realize that even if they do quote unquote pick you, that void will not be filled. And then improving your own like self-worth and self-esteem, and realizing that all comes from within. No one else can make you feel inherently valued or worthy or anything like that, because that you have to be secure in that within yourself first. Basically, whatever you feel like you're lacking in, no one else can fill that void for you. You got to do that for yourself. And realize that you're good enough for the things that you want. Like, the things that you want are possible. People have achieved them, whether it be both in terms of like career and also romance. You are good enough. I'm gonna leave y'all with that, but thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful in any way, shape, or form. And yeah, so I'll see y'all with another video next week. Bye!